So welcome back to Donna and Friends. With me this week on my segment From the Red Dirt Up is none other than a very good musical friend, I'll put it that way, Scott Carson. And we met, where else?
Tuesday Night Music Club.
Isn't that where all the cool kids go?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is. That's where all the cool kids go. And here you are sitting here today, me too. I'm more of a spectator, but you, of course, a musician.
Yes.
Now, Scott, how long have you been playing an instrument?
Oh, probably since about third grade, off and on. I didn't get I got serious in spurts. I got serious for a little bit in high school, serious for a little bit in college, then I swore it off, and then I came back to it in my late 20s, and so I've been going pretty hot and heavy for 4 or 5 years now.
So
3 or
Scott,
4.
have you always just played guitar? Have you messed with other instruments?
For the most part, I've tried some other stuff, and I can kind of do some stuff on other instruments, but not really comfortable on anything, and not that I want to play anything else in public.
What was the first, I want to ask what the first paying gig, whether it may have been in food or what have you, but what was your first paying gig?
I'm going to say probably in college was the first paying gig, probably at a place called Ira's in Alva, Oklahoma. But before that, I'd done some stuff like I'd played music while people were walking into our prom, and I think I played at some school plays and things of that nature, but not really out and really getting paid until college.
And Scott, where did you grow up at?
Well, in Garber, Oklahoma by Enid,
Okay.
just east of Enid, and lived there all the way up until this last year, and we moved over to Stillwater in August of last year.
Has that been a pretty major change for you coming from that area to the Stillwater area?
It was a 180 for me. You know, I was working full-time there and playing pretty well full-time, and the hours of the two did not match up at all. Well, I was getting up at 4 and 5 in the morning. There's a lot of days I wouldn't get in until 2 or 3.
Oh my.
And it was dragging on, and we were looking for something different to do. And it looked like at the time my wife was going to have to work at Stillwater, and as it turned out, she got a job in Enid, so now we're in Stillwater, and she drives to Enid every day. But then when I got over here to the music scene, and I could really kind of jump in head first as opposed to just testing the water and coming over when I could before, it really changed everything that we were doing. And we really got involved with everybody and got to know everybody really well, and a lot of things started happening from that.
Yeah. You know, Stillwater, and I don't know if a lot of people realize it, but it's really pretty happening music-wise.
You know, just about every night of the week, there's something going on. And there's a lot of different things going on, you know. Chuck Dunlap and I play every Saturday at Stables. They're across from Joe's, and you know, we always try to have a guest, and that can, you know, it could be anything. But then across the street, kind of around the corner at Stonewall, they have all kinds of
Right.
jam bands and things of that nature. And the College Bar will have all sorts of you know, different kinds of bands, from bluegrass to jam band type stuff to who knows what, and there's always something going on.
Well, I think that Oklahoma is just chock full of talent, and I think really we have a concentrated amount of that here in Payne County as well.
I agree. There's countless people I've met that are just, why aren't you out there? You know, and you know, most of them don't fit the mold.
Right.
And so
right.
There's that. But I love it. It's pretty fertile.
You know, that's something that I really enjoy about Tuesday Night Music Club, because there really isn't any mold to fit into.
No.
You can go there and you can just join in the circle when it comes to your turn, and you don't have to be any certain set way.
And you don't have to play any certain set instrument or any certain genre, and it's all accepting and all, just get in there and do it, you know.
Absolutely. Now, Scott, in Stillwater, there's a place that you and your wife have called the Dancing Deer. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's Dancing Deer Lodge. It's a bed and breakfast. It's a 3-room bed and breakfast, and we bought it as a bed and breakfast. And one of the things we wanted to do was to have live music, and so we built a barn in the back with an outdoor kind of covered area to have music, and it's up and going. We had Kevin and Dustin Welch this Sunday, and they did a songwriter workshop during the day, and then I don't know, an hour and a half, 2-hour concert afterwards. We've had Ian Moore. We're having Joe Baxter, who you had on. Joe Baxter's Joe at the end of July.
Yeah.
So we've had some really cool acts come through, and we're really proud of it, and hope we can continue doing it.
For people that are out there watching, Scott, what is the location of the Dancing Deer Lodge?
We're 2019 South Range Road. We're on the west side of Stillwater,
Okay.
just kind of on the edge of town.
Okay. So you're, in a sense, providing another venue for people to come and play at. You know, when you say that you built the barn, I think about the old-fashioned barn dance almost. You know,
Yeah.
in a sense.
In a sense, we wanted to really provide a kind of a unique listening environment, you know, as opposed to the bar thing
Right.
or what have you. But
More relaxed setting.
relaxed setting. It's just like being on somebody's back porch, but you have a Kevin Welch or an Ian Moore or whatever.
And how neat is that?
Yeah, and you know, we've had kids out there and they run around there's a big open area out there, and they run around, kick the ball around, and they're far enough back that they don't affect the performers or any of the
Right.
listeners. And some of the kids have just sat down and listened, and that's been really cool. And I was really excited to have the workshop because I wanted to do some stuff like that, you know, to kind of, I don't know, it's hard to provide or seek out somebody that will sit down with you and mentor you in that kind of a setting that's been there and done that, that's, you know, that has that successful of a career. And so I was really excited that we got to fulfill that this Sunday.
And I think that you're probably going to plan some more workshops in a sense in the future, of course. I would
Absolutely.
think.
I've talked to some friends of mine that we've talked about doing like guitar setup workshops. John Cooper and I talked about mandolin and performance stuff once before, and we haven't got anything set in stone, but those are a couple of the things we're working on, as well as my wife's kind of does these weird paintings, and she's going to do like a tipsy artist thing out there, if you've ever heard of that.
Yes,
And,
and that's a great venue, and there's a lot of ladies out there that enjoy the Tipsy Artist venue.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of fun.
and I don't think she has a date on that yet, but she's working on it.
So you have a website for the Dancing Deer Lodge that people can go and kind of see what's happening?
Hey,
Or
yeah.
Facebook?
We're on Facebook. Just type in Dancing Deer Lodge and search the Dancing Deer Lodge. I think it's dancingdeerlodge.com, but there might be a BB something in there too.
That must be more of the Mrs. side of things. But I bet if you Google it, it's going to come up. Dancing Deer Lodge in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to come up. Well, let's talk about how we find some of what you do, you know, on the other side of the fence, and that's the music. You can go to Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation, just search my name, and there's some tracks up there. There's some older stuff on iTunes, or you can come out to Stables and see Chuck
There
and
you
I
go.
every Saturday.
There you go.
As well as wherever else we're.
If you've got a schedule up and going, that's going to be, I guess, connected with Reverb
It's
Nation.
on Reverb Nation, yes.
And also, you have a Facebook page.
Yes, either search Scott Carson or everything else is under Carson, I guess.
Now tell me, Carson, I guess. What, you know, tell me, what is Carson, I guess? That phrase itself, I've seen it on a lot of your things.
It goes back to an old email address, and what do you want to make it? Carson, I guess. And that was what they
Okay.
typed in, and it's just stuck. It's been with me for about 10
Right.
years.
I love that, Carson. I mean, because I get it immediately. I do that a lot with in
Yeah,
my
well,
responses. Oh, yeah, Donna, I guess,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of get that as well. You're getting ready to perform 3 songs for us here in this next segment. And the first song was Mustard and Mayonnaise. Is that something you like together on a sandwich? Is there a reasoning? What's
Oh,
going on
no,
there?
I heard somebody refer to the highway lines as that one
Okay.
time, and it.
All right.
I'd been trying to work that line in, and when I did, it has nothing to do with the nature of the song, really. But it once it was in there, I was like, I got to call it that.
Well, I love it. I certainly do. And then Summer's Fling just makes me want to sway. It really does. It's a fabulous song. And then last but not least, Daydreaming.
Uh-huh.
So you do a lot of daydreaming? I do.
Well, I do my share.
Yeah, to the point that maybe certain things don't get done, Maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
once in a
occasionally.
while, yeah. Well, Scott, it's been so fun to have you in studio here today to visit with me, but even more exciting to get ready to check out the songs that Scott's doing. Again, Reverb Nation, Scott Carson. Hey, you want to check it out, or you can find him on Facebook, Scott Carson. Man, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.